I want to go over questions 19, 20, 21, and 22 on the review here. The first thing I want to cover is the idea of an exponential function. Down here, let's go ahead and say an exponential function is of the form f of x equals a d to the x. We're going to go ahead and line this exponential function up with every single one of our questions. And what we're going to find is that our d right here is known as the common factor, and this a is my y-intercept. So if I go ahead up here and I line this up, I'll have y equals a d to the x. So clearly my y-intercept for this one is the 3. But then what happens if I take 4 times that function? Well, what we do there is we say 4 times f of x really equals 4 times whatever f of x was, which is 3, 2 to the x. Well, that's going to be 12, 2 to the x. So again, we're going to see that my a has changed. This is my a, here's my d here. So my new y-intercept has changed to 12. Up here, go ahead and line it up again. I have y, this is a little more complicated, d to the x. What is this number that's in front of the 3 that is my a? Well, it's an invisible 1. So my y-intercept here is an invisible 1. What's going to happen if I go ahead and multiply that function by 2? So I take 2 f of x, then I take 2 times my old function, which is 3 to the x. Well, clearly, now I have a new a. And that a is going to be this number right there. So go ahead and say my y-intercept equals 2. Over here, again, we line it up. So my y-intercept for this function is going to be 10. But then when I take a half of that, I'm going to have y, or I guess I should write it out properly. 1/2 of f of x equals the same thing as before, 10 times 8 to the x. But what am I supposed to be doing to that? Taking 1/2 of it. What's 1/2 of 10? Well, that's just 5. So now I have 5 times 8 to the x. Right there is my y-intercept. So my y-intercept equals 5. Finally, over here, this matches up. So my y-intercept here is 4. And then clearly, if I'm going to take 2 times that function, I'm going to have 2 times f of x. Well, wait a minute. What was f of x? It was 4, 2 to the x. But I'm taking 2 times it, so 2 times that. So these are going to combine and give me 2 times 4 is 8, 2 to the x. And now I have a new a. So my y-intercept for this question is going to equal 8.